Welcome to day 2 of the Daily Doodle December Challenge. I'm Stephanie Hahn from Calm & Creative Studio, your host. If you haven't already done so, be sure to download the free toolkit, which includes the printable calendars, 2 different sizes you can choose from, as well as a supply checklist. Before we begin doodling today, I would like to pause for a few deep breaths together so that we can fully arrive in this moment and approach our doodling from a place of calm. So I like to close my eyes for this. I invite you to do the same, or just look down with a soft gaze if that feels more comfortable. You might just rest your hands in your lap. I like to put one hand on my heart, one on my belly. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth with a big sigh. Releasing tension in the body with the out breath. Inhaling again through the nose. Another big sigh out. Letting go of thoughts and worries in our heads so that we can approach our doodling with a quiet mind. And one final breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Allowing yourself to arrive fully in this moment right here, right now. Let's begin. For today's doodle, we'll begin by doing a little bump in the center at the bottom, and then another bump over top of it with just a little bit of space between. Then another bump, but with a bigger gap, and then the smaller gap. And I'm not worrying, as you can tell, about making these completely smooth or equidistant, because I am here to relax. And that means approaching this with an emphasis on process and not fixating on outcome. And trust me, by the time we finish filling all of this in, it's going to look fabulous. Now we're going to come back in to these little skinny sections and add little lines across like this. Today I will be coloring in a fair amount with black. So this is a day and a design when it is handy to be working with a bit of a thicker nib of pen. This one is a 1.0. It doesn't have to be this thick. You might also do the doodling part with a more fine tip and then just grab a different pen for the coloring part later. So now that we've got all that done, I'm going to do circles inside the bigger arches that are left. So I am going to do sort of a center one. It's the same position for each. And then fill in. These don't even need to be circles. They can be wonky ovals. They can be touching each other. They can be a little bit apart. We'll be coloring in between in black. So the bigger the circles or ovals, the less coloring that you'll do. Since we're focused on relaxation, it's always helpful to periodically, as we doodle, just check in with our bodies. Are we still relaxed from our deep breaths at the beginning, or have we let some tension creep in? Sometimes when we concentrate, I'm coloring in now. Sometimes when we concentrate deeply, even if we're having a good time, we can find ourselves with tension in the face and jaw. So just see if there's any there, if you can soften. Sometimes, as you can see, my circles will get a bit smaller as I maybe color them in a little bit more to smooth out the edges if I find them a bit jaggedy. This is also an opportunity to practice mindfulness, which just means being fully present with what's happening right here, right now. Trying not to let our mind be occupied with worries about the future, plans for the future, or thinking about the past. Noticing how it feels to take time for yourself, how it feels to do something creative. I personally find it extremely enjoyable to create. But I am very careful about what I choose to create. And because I do have perfectionist tendencies, I consciously choose to do art activities that are very forgiving, where I don't even attempt to make things symmetrical. And then I find it easier to release those perfectionist tendencies and to quiet the inner critic. So as you can see, I'm demonstrating on the small calendar, the one that shows the full month on a single page. But inside the toolkit, there is also an option if you have more time and would like to do a bigger doodle each day. There's a week at a glance page as well. And I will show you at the end a sample on the larger page, as well as a sample of a different color scheme that I've done on this small square page. So that is it for the doodling part today. This page that I'm going to demo on all week is an experimentation page where I'm not going to be concerned aesthetically about trying to make everything flow or match. I'm using this as an opportunity to play with different supplies that I own. So for today, I think I'll use this is a Jelly Roll gel pen in gold. So I will color in these little square or rectangle pieces. And I will just mention that it is an option to stop right after you've finished with the black and leave your whole page or just an individual square in black and white. That's quite beautiful. But I will be adding color each day. You'll notice that I just turned the page a little bit. Please remember to do that as you work as well, so that you're being conscious of ergonomics, what's comfortable for your body as you work. I don't concern myself about reaching every little nook and cranny. If there's a little bit of white left, I think that can be quite attractive. And now that I've reached middle age, and my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, it's actually much easier for me to be forgiving, because I can't even see how precise anything is anymore, even with my glasses. One of the gifts of getting older. That one bled over a little bit over top of the black more than I intended, but I embrace all of the marks, unintended or intended, and I practice just embracing what is and being okay with it. There are no mistakes on my art journal pages. Unintended marks sometimes, but not what I would call mistakes. Or at least I try to cultivate that attitude. So I think today I will actually do multiple shades of glitter or metallics. So I also have these new Staedtler metallic pens. So let me grab a few shades from in here. Maybe I'll do 3. And I will alternate coloring in with these. So I'll do that one blue, so I'll do this one up here, this color. And I'll do, I quite like these paint pens. They flow really smoothly right out of the box. That one's darker than I pictured. Okay, so now I'll do the pink to the left of the green. I'm being quite haphazard about this, I'm realizing. Once I get this pattern going, it'll be easier. All right. So I've done pink, green, blue. So I'll do, oh shoot, see? This was meant to be pink. All right, watch how I roll with what is. So this row is now going to be alternating blue and green. This is you watching actual spontaneous art journaling in action. And so now I see I've already done the pink up here, so I can't repeat this up here. So this is going to be truly a very unpredictable, wonky wonky piece. But I love it. Alrighty. So I am going to alternate every 3 colors here. So it's not the most efficient approach, but I'm not in any hurry. So what does it matter? Sometimes I catch myself being in a rush. And then I have to say, like, why? Why are you in a hurry? Slow down. I'm getting there. It's a bit of a roundabout, convoluted coloring session. But I love that I'm demonstrating randomness. So now I'm going to come in with white. Just going to add a little tiny, it's going to be very subtle, but a little daub of white in the top right of each corner. Not corner, but where there would be a corner, I guess, if it was a square, as though the light is coming down from the top right. And this can just give ever so slightly a look of a sphere, like dimension. See, this is hardly showing up. That's okay. There. And on this one here, it really went out farther than I wanted into the black, so I'm going back into the black to touch up. And there we have it. Today's page. Let me bring it in for you. And now I will show you the other finished ones. So this is the page that I'm doing where I'm going to be demonstrating sticking with a monochromatic color scheme, all shades of green and gold. So very similar to what I've done here, but as you can see, sticking with the one color. And then here is the example on the bigger shape. And on this one, I'm going to be demoing sticking with all blues and silver. And on this one, I used Staedtler markers for the blues and then silver gel pen. So that gives you, I hope, a bunch of inspiration and ideas for proceeding with your page. And now that I have finished today's doodle, I get to color in a star on my tracker. Which is so very satisfying. I hope that you enjoyed doodling with me on day 2 and that it's left you feeling calmer and more creative. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 3.